coming just like the first one. So now there are 2 tornadoes tracking in that direction. And certainly people need to be aware of that. The second one is, again, very invisible right now. It's not very clearly defined, but it indeed is growing in this area. And so people need to be aware of that. The second one, or the first one we talked about, is growing in
funnel
intensity.
Cloud.
Can you see 2 of them?
Here goes the funnel cloud out of the cloud base there,
There's
Jane,
still a
extending
third one,
down
yes.
toward the ground.
So now we're seeing 3 at this point coming from this area.
Okay.
This is apparently a very intensive storm forming.
All right, the Weather Service has just seen our live video and have now issued a tornado warning. That is a tornado warning until 5:45 p.m. for northern Woodward County. That would be primarily north of Moreland, south of Alabaster Caverns, north of Curtis, way north east of the Woodward area. That first tornado is intensifying. Now looks like the winds are over. Estimating here about 125 miles an hour, maybe a little bit stronger than that. Looks to be perhaps maybe 150, 175 yards wide. Chris Lee and Jane Braden live on the scene from near Moreland. This is on the north side of Moreland, and there finally is the funnel cloud part, the condensation cloud, if you will, extending toward the ground. Look at the large gap there between the debris cloud and the funnel cloud, but it looks like it's filling in. Jane, what do you think right now?
Well, it certainly is filling in. It is now clearly kicking up a great deal of debris from the ground. And it's intensifying and forming a complete tornado, as you can see, from the top of the cloud down to the ground. And the first one remains on the ground, kicking up a great deal more debris. So these are both on the ground and moving, but they appear to be moving very, very slowly at this point, Mike.
Jane, that is absolutely tremendous video. Can you see in the distance, perhaps photographer Chris Lee, when he zooms in on his Betacam, can he see any homes over near the tornado's path?
No, we cannot. There's a line of trees between our vantage point and the place where the tornadoes are actually touching on the ground. Now, we're looking across a very big of a farm area here, several pastures, and so it doesn't appear to be going into a highly populated area, but certainly there could be farmhouses in the area.
Okay, I see a barn. I see a barn there in the lower left part of the screen, Jane.
That's some distance. That's probably at least a half to a mile away from that, so that particular barn is not in the area. We can't see the actual touchdown spots from here.
Okay, it looks like you're several miles away. Chris, of course, has a very big telephoto zoom on that camera, so he has the ability to zoom way in. I don't believe you're in danger. It doesn't look like you're in danger, but over the grove of trees where we can't quite see, there may be some folks living in rural areas north of Moreland, north of Curtis, north of Highway 412, south of Alabaster Caverns. Those are the locations where those 2 tornadoes are currently located in northern Woodward County. Folks, this is live video from Fast Unit number 2. 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time. Tornado warning until 5:45 for northern Woodward County. There's first alert with the severe thunderstorm watch and the tornado warning for northern Woodward County. That is absolutely tremendous live video from Fast Unit 2. Jane, what else do you see?
Well, right now, it may have hit something. The debris is scattered at the bottom now, which it may have struck something or kicked up more debris. It's certainly not as defined as it was a moment ago, but both are on the ground. Chris Lee, you have something to add?
Mike, I think the tornado to the north is roping out. It's gotten very ropey, and instead of having the straight appearance that the tornado you're seeing right now has, it's become very thin, and I believe what Jane is seeing is just the tornado dissipating and the dust falling back to the ground. The stronger one is the one to the south. It's a little bit west of straight north of the town of Moreland, and it appears to be moving pretty much straight east very slowly. I am seeing another funnel in the clouds above that first tornado.
The sirens have just begun to blow in Moreland. We can hear them from where we're standing.
I believe the second tornado may have dissipated. There's still some dust on the ground, but I believe it's dissipated.
Okay, are you on the northern?
We are hearing the sirens. Yes, we are. We're just to the north. We're hearing the sirens in Moreland, and this storm doesn't seem to be threatening immediately. These tornadoes are not threatening Moreland immediately, but the farmlands just north of Moreland, north and west of Moreland. And the first tornado we've been tracking the whole time is still very much on the ground. The second one does seem to be really dissipating. There is a third funnel. It's not to the ground by any means. It's up in the clouds, but it's so far not connecting to the ground or causing any problems.
All right, that's a 58,000-foot storm, so it may also produce some very large hail in addition to the tornado. It's very severe on Doppler 5 and NEXRAD radar. These tornadoes may maintain themselves for quite some time. It is in a sparsely populated area just a couple of miles north of Moreland, and the slow eastward movement, it may be in a close proximity of some homes for a fairly long period of time. So you folks that live in east central and north central Woodward County. Tornado warning, so be prepared to seek shelter immediately. The second tornado is still on the ground. Doesn't look to be nearly as strong as the first one. Eventually, it may move over toward sections of Woods County, south of the Freedom and west of the Waynoka area, but it's moving very, very slowly right now. The parent thunderstorm that's producing these two tornadoes is now located 7.2 miles northwest of the Moreland area. First tornado still very strong there, probably at least 130-mile-per-hour winds on the ground. Look how the dust has been taken all the way up to the cloud base now. That's dust and debris that has been lifted up by that tornado. And there's even another smaller one that is now touched down right next to the first tornado. So we've had three tornadoes now. The third tornado there, very narrow, touching down to the ground as well. You can see the little rope vortex there filling in on the third tornado. The first tornado still very, very strong. Jane, what do you think?
Well, the second tornado seems to be completely gone now. It's not kicking up any degree, but the second one, like as you mentioned, and as you can see, is just beginning to build. And it's even stronger than the second one, we believe, at this point. The first one, very strong, still on the ground. Moving slowly, though, and people around here are beginning to react. They're stopping along the highway. People are jumping out of cars, running, screaming to one another, and the sirens continue in Moreland.
That is absolutely incredible video, and with 130, 140-mile-per-hour winds, the folks that live just north of Moreland, you need to get in an immediate tornado shelter area right now. Remember your tornado safety precautions: basement, storm cellar. If you don't have a basement or storm cellar, interior closet or bathroom. Two tornadoes on the ground right now look to be maybe a half mile to a quarter of a mile apart. And the second tornado earlier looks like it has dissipated. Those are tornadoes number 1 and tornadoes number 3 there, and that is just about due north of Moreland, a couple of miles in Woodward County.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like, if you can see off to the south, it looks like it's starting, the storm is starting to wrap around. I'm getting what almost looks like dust blowing around to the southwest of this tornado. The rear flank downdraft's coming around. Can you see it?
Yes, we can. We can see it down very close to the ground. Can you see the rain and hail? Is there any rain and hail nearby?
The rain and hail would be to our north. We're not seeing any hail that we can say is, we can say that there is any hail following, but there's obviously some precipitation straight north of our location up Highway 50.
Okay, I hear the tornado sirens in the background. That's the city of Moreland right to your south. This is due north of the city of Moreland, about 2 to 2.5 miles. Looks like tornado number 3 now has dissipated, but there is a fourth. Believe it or not, a fourth funnel cloud is coming out of the cloud there to the left of tornado number 1. That would be tornado number 4, and it is also on the ground. Chris, pan down slowly there, and you'll see the vortex on the ground. Right there, there it is very, very faintly, about a quarter mile to the left of the tornado number 1. There's another vortex on the ground. So we've had 4 tornadoes. Tornado number 1 there appears to be weakening. Most of that now is dust that has been lifted up by the vortex itself. You can still see the condensation cloud, as we call it, extending down from the cloud base there, but it's still on the ground. And tornado number 4 is also on the ground, only looks to be about 50 yards wide, so it's very, very narrow. But if there are certainly some folks that live north of Moreland, you are in immediate danger from these tornadoes. 2 to 3 to 4 miles north of Moreland in Woodward County in northwestern Oklahoma. Still tornado number 1 and tornado number 4 on the ground right now. Jane, what do you think?
Well, it looks like all 4 are really dissipating quickly. Though the latest one that you just talked about has gone back up into the clouds, it appears, from our vantage point here. And the first one, the one that has been the predominant tornado, is also dissipating fairly quickly as we speak. The other 2 are nowhere to be seen anymore. They have dissipated completely, Mike. So this is an episode that seems to be dying down at this moment. But as you said, these funnel clouds keep dipping out, and so we are going to keep an eye on it for you.
Okay, if you can put me in Ultimate in key, can you put me in key, and I'll show you where the 4th tornado is touching down. If you can do that effect for me, you may not be able to. Looks like tornado number 1 is still on the ground. You can still see the vortex. On the other side of the grove of trees, there's still a tornado vortex on the ground. Here we go. Tornado number 1, here's the vortex right here, very faint. It's on the ground. Tornado number 4 was right here. It kicked up some of this dust on the ground. This was tornado number 4, only about 50 yards wide, very narrow. Now, tornado number 1, the vortex here looks like it's completely dissipating. Look how the dust is kind of spreading out in all directions. The vortex is dissipating. You can barely see it right there, probably about 125, 150 yards wide. Chris Lee, Fast Unit 2 is zoomed way in. It's still on the ground. There it is right there. You can see the vortex right here. It's still on the ground. It looks like it's almost doing circles, Chris. Is it doing circles?
Certainly, it may be doing circles because it doesn't seem to have really moved from our position at all since it began. And I suppose that was about 10 minutes ago that this tornado first appeared. It was moments before you came to us live that it formed. And it may be picking up some intensity even now, Mike, again. It's certainly not finished with its work here.
It certainly isn't. There's the tornado back on the ground. In fact, it hasn't even lifted up off the ground. It's been on the ground the whole time.
No, it's never lifted off the ground. This one is not skip-hopping around. It's down on the ground, and it stayed there the entire time.
It looks like it's only moved perhaps at the very most a quarter mile the whole time. It's been in the same area now for about, well, 25 minutes. It's been on the ground, and it looks like it's intensifying once again. The tornado warning continues till at least 5:45. That's tornado number 1. It was the first one to touch down. We have since had 3 other small tornadoes touch down in close proximity of tornado number 1, but it's still on the ground, perhaps about 125 to 150 yards wide. So it's been in one neighborhood for quite some time. It's a sparsely populated area north of Moreland by 3 to 4 miles in northern Woodward County. It'd be up the state highway there, northwest of Curtis, northeast of Boiling Springs State Park, south of Alabaster Caverns, and about 4 to 3 miles north of Moreland. So the folks in there need to take immediate tornado precautions. I don't believe at this point in time that Moreland is in immediate danger, but it looks like that it'll probably drift in the same area less than 5 to 10 miles per hour north of Moreland. Jane, what do you think?
Well, Mike, this is intensifying. Certainly, it is more narrow at the top, but it is widening at the bottom, and so it's covering a larger area on the ground and growing in intensity. I think right now it's covering a larger area on the ground than it has the entire time we've been watching it. Again, we have no idea what is over there. We don't know if there are any homes over there or anything like that. There are people that are stopping along the highway. We've not heard of any damage or any injuries as yet. But again, we've been locked down in this position watching it. And as you can see, it is widening on the ground. And this one is not about to die out. It is strengthening, Mike.
Yes, it looks like it's quite a bit wider now than it was. Apparently, stations from all over the nation now have joined the 5 Alive newscast. Folks, you know that Oklahoma's in Tornado Alley. We have more tornadoes here per square mile than any place else in the entire world. And you're looking at northwestern Oklahoma. We've had 4 tornadoes on the ground, most of them by Oklahoma standards on the weak to moderate size in strength. But it's been on the ground, and we're going to stay with this as it stays on the ground north of Moreland. You can still hear the tornado sirens going off in the Moreland area. Jack, do you have any questions looking at this incredible video?
I have one, Mike. Is this terribly unusual for it to remain for this amount of time?
It certainly is, especially in one place. As you know, most of them move around 25 to 30 miles per hour from the west to the east or the southwest to the northeast. The thunderstorm that's spawning this tornado activity has been holding just about stationary, so it hasn't been moving very much, so the tornado itself has been holding just about stationary. The only movement it seems to have is almost like an elephant's trunk, kind of swaying and circling in circles during the past 25 to 30 minutes. This one being in that particular neighborhood for almost a half hour now is very, very unusual. In fact, you've a lot of heard about tornado tales from years past of tornadoes doing U-turns, of doing circles. Well, this is where those stories from tornadoes come from. This one has done a U-turn and a circle, and it's still on the ground.
It's moving now. Up until now, it's remained apparently stationary, but it does seem to be on the move, heading northeast at this point, and still very intense, as you can see. Dark debris filling the entire funnel cloud to the ground tornado. So people, this one is intensifying and appears to be on the move now.
Okay, I understand there is a large ranch in the area and also several homes in the area. You could see the barn about 15 minutes ago in the foreground of the video. I understand there are some folks that live 3 to 4 miles north of Moreland. The way it's dancing around, folks, even if it's a quarter or a half mile away from you, it can whip and turn and do a U-turn. So at the very least, keep a very close eye on it, and your best bet just to seek shelter immediately in an interior closet or bathroom. Stay with us. We're going to stay with this tornado as it remains on the ground north of Moreland. So we will let you know when it's a little safer to go outside. Right now located, the storm itself is located 6 miles northwest of Moreland, and the tornado is on the southeast side of the storm. So it looks like it's about 3 to 4 miles north of Moreland, but there are some homes and a large ranch north of Moreland. You folks need to be prepared to seek shelter immediately. If you haven't done so already, turn the volume up on your television set on Channel 5, and we'll let you know when it's safe to come outside, because this tornado is dancing around quite a bit. This is live from northwestern Oklahoma via Fast Unit 2. Chris Lee and Jane Braden looking north from the northern sides of Moreland, Oklahoma in northern Woodward County. Chris and Jane, what do you think?
Well, Mike, we joined this storm about 40 minutes ago, and it was virtually nothing for very, very long. Suddenly, a wall cloud crept out from the top of the cloud, from the bottom of the clouds, and then moments before we came live to you, this tornado, this one you're looking at, appeared. It has intensified and weakened some, intensified and weakened, and at one point, 3 other funnel clouds that became tornadoes also came out of the clouds. Those other 3 had dissipated at this point, and they've not returned, and we've not seen any additional funnel clouds come to us at this point. The sirens, again, are sounding in Moreland. Chris Lee, you have something to add?
Well, Jane, I've noticed it's staying in the same place, and when it does stay in the same place a lot, it picks up apparently all the dust and debris there is to pick up there, and then it looks a little bit skinnier for a little while, and then it moves a little bit and picks up a lot more dust. I'm not sure it's really intensifying and de-intensifying as much as it just at times picking up a lot more debris than at other times. It looks to me like it's remained fairly constant. It sure hasn't moved very much.
It really hasn't, Chris. It looks like it's doing another one of those big loops or circles right now. You have your camera on a tripod in one place, and it's moved from the left to the right, so it's doing another one of those loops. Chris, take a look, or if you want, pan back on your camera for a minute. We have a report of a possible tornado near Woodward, which would be to your west-west-northwest, about 10 to 15 miles. I don't know how your vantage point is back to the west-northwest, but we've had a report of some severe weather going on in the Woodward area. There's the storm looking back toward the west. There is an intensifying thunderstorm near Woodward. You folks in Woodward County, near Woodward and north of Woodward, you may have an intensifying thunderstorm, even some unconfirmed reports of funnel clouds and a possible tornado in the Woodward area. So you folks around Woodward, be prepared to seek shelter immediately also. Of course, this is from looking north from Moreland. Just to your east, about 12 miles down the road. We have a large ranch and some homes that are in danger right now. Folks' lives are in danger just north of Moreland. Stick with us here, and we're going to stay live as long as this tornado is on the ground. Looks like the winds are at least 125 to 130 miles per hour now inside that tornado. That's been tornado number 1. We've had 3 others touch down since this one has, and it's been on the ground now for a grand total of 32 minutes and hasn't moved more than a quarter to a half a mile. Chris, Jane?
Mike, we have a storm spotter here who's also with the police department, a reserve officer. Tell us your name and what you've been hearing as far as injuries, damage, anything like that.
My name's Jake Krukenberg. I'm a reserve officer at the Moreland Police Department. So far, what we have is the tornado is about 10 miles northwest of Moreland, which would put it just north of Woodward. I have no reports of any damage or any injuries. And right now, we don't even think it's moving. The reports we're getting, it hasn't moved more than just a little bit.
What is over the trees? We are not familiar with the area. You're from here. What's over the trees? What could be in the path of this tornado?
Basically, just some rural farmsteads, and there is a Woodward iodine plant, which if it would move southeast, the Woodward iodine plant might be in its path. That's getting pretty close to that area.
And what damage could that cause, and could that cause any potential damage?
It could,
as far as ecological damage.
I don't really know as far as ecological damage, but
I'm just saying, could it cause a leak or any damage to people if it were hit by a tornado?
It could most definitely cause a leak, I would imagine. And as far as the equipment, I think there's several $1 million worth of equipment out there right now.
But again, that is south of the storm and east somewhat from where we think it is at this point. So it could very well.
North.
Yes. So that we're just supposing that could be a problem.
Yeah, that would be a.
That is just a supposition, nothing yet.
That'd be a worst
We have some other police officers from Moreland. Have you folks heard of any injuries or damage in that area?
No, ma'am, we have not. Not at this time.
What are you doing right now? Are you just trying to watch it and see what course it will take?
Yeah, we've been trying to get people under shelter right now. They've said the movement has been a little bit to the southeast, what they're saying out of Woodward.
Are people responding? Are they quickly going to shelters in Moreland?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
What about Woodward? Are the sirens blaring there?
I do not know at this time.
Okay. Have you heard, are there any additional tornadoes in this area? We had heard some unconfirmed reports through funnel clouds, perhaps something touching down near the Woodward area, but I don't want to panic anyone to think that's indeed happened. Have you heard that?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Are you in contact with the Woodward police pretty regularly?
Yes, ma'am, all the time.
So apparently no problems in that area yet. Well, that's good news to hear, Mike. As you can see, this thing is on the ground now, and I've lost track of time, but well over 30 minutes now, an incredible time for this to be on the ground. We are not hearing any reports of any damage or injuries yet, but we are in the early stages of covering this. We don't know what we'll find when we are able to go over across those trees to see.
Jane, I don't know if Mike is, I'm sure Mike's looking at it on radar. There's far less precipitation to our north. The storm, as far as precipitation, seems to be weakening. Maybe Mike could help me a little bit. Is that an indication this storm is weakening, or do you see any indications of that on radar, Mike?
Chris, in fact, while you're talking to the officials there, I just went in and checked live Doppler 5, went right into the weather office. The storm has weakened just a bit, now from 58,000 feet down to about 49,000 feet. But where the rain and the hail may weaken, it still may tornado for a fair amount longer. You mentioned you saw some outflow or a downburst coming around the backside. It looks like that downburst has helped to perhaps move the tornado along just a little bit. But the parent storm has weakened just a bit, but studies have proven that that doesn't necessarily mean that the tornado itself may dissipate any more than it would intensify if the storm were to grow stronger. So it's not a direct correlation. Obviously, you've been with us now for over 35 minutes. The tornado is at its very strongest point right now than it has been since 1 minute after 5 when this tornado touched down.
I think we're about 10 to 12 miles away. That was what someone spotter said, but it doesn't seem that far to me.
From my experience, I would say that storm is only about 5 miles away from here. That's, you know, we're guessing at it from one direction, but that's from the movement I'm seeing from the ground, because if they're very far away, you don't see the dust churning like it is now. That's my guess. It's roughly 5-6 miles away from our location.
I'd have to agree with you also.
We're seeing more rain and lightning out of this too, Mike, right now. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning and more rain coming.
If we can...
Go ahead, Jane. Northwest of Woodward also, so if they're seeing something from Woodward, this could very well be it.
I think you're right, yes. Let's go to Doppler 5 very quickly. Met radar will show you where the storm is. Now here, put me here in Ultimat and I'll point to it. Go ahead and put me in Ultimat here. There's Woodward and Moreland in Woodward County. You can see the storm itself. Here's Moreland right here. Here's the hail and rain. It's on the southeast side of that particular thunderstorm, so it'd be about 4 to 5 miles north of Moreland and northeast of you folks in Woodward. That's where the tornado is right now, so it looks like about 4 to 5 miles north of Moreland. Let's go back to the live video now. Chris, Jane?
Let's go back to the beginning of this storm. There was some concern that it would be certainly a thunderstorm. You weren't convinced there would be tornadoes out of this, but suddenly we go from a severe thunderstorm warning into a tornado quite unexpectedly when a wall cloud dipped and became then a funnel cloud and then sprouted into 3 more funnels, totaling 4 that have been seen on this pasture land right now. And the original funnel remains on the ground, picking up in debris. It's turning dark and ugly now, and again, it's still whipping around. It's making some movement. It's moving north and east, but it seems to be going in a wide circle and covering the same ground over and over again. And we've been talking to some police in the area who say they don't know of any particular homes that have been hit or any injuries from this tornado. However, they do say there are farmhouses over there and some a plant, an iodine plant, to the south and east. So that is probably not in any danger. It is there, and should this tornado whip violently around, perhaps could be in some trouble. But that's the only population that we've been able to see that could be affected so far, unless this tornado starts on the move big time.
Jane, have you ever seen a live tornado before like this?
I've seen them live, but I never got them on camera live before. We've never seen them this way. It's not exactly an experience I want to relive, Mike.
I don't blame you. At least you're not very close to it. You're a ways off, and the zoom lens on the camera there can take us right up to the tornado. This storm has not moved very much at all.
We are standing some distance from it, and we're watching it almost with the safety that you are, because we are a long ways, and it's striking away from us, what little movement it does have. There is a great deal of lightning that we won't pull away from the tornado yet to show you. I've lived in Oklahoma all my life, and I have seen 2 tornadoes. This is the second one, and so this is a rare experience for me. We have another tornado forming, Mike. We're about to show you. See, it's growing there, and this one is apparently more intense than the other 3 that formed alongside this major tornado. This tornado is a bigger wall cloud, says Chris Lee, and this one is forming about 2 miles to the south and east of the other one. And so people in the area, again, here we have a renewed warning for you. A second tornado, perhaps more intense than the first one we've been showing you this time, is now forming. The sirens are blowing in Moreland. The people in Woodward are watching this tornado from the other side, and so they also need to be aware. We have the police here. They're keeping a watch on it, too, and they're in radio contact. We don't know of any injuries or damage, but again, there's a second tornado now, rather a fifth tornado on the ground. This one is the second most intense we've seen so far, Mike.
That's right. That's tornado number 1 on the right, and tornado, there you go, on the right, and tornado number 5 on the left. Tornadoes 2, 3, and 4 have touched down and weakened, and this is most extraordinary to see 5 tornadoes on the ground within, what, 1 or 2 miles of one another in northern Woodward County. In fact, I've never seen anything like this before in my entire life, and I've seen over 24 Oklahoma tornadoes in my day, and I've never seen 5 touchdown within 1 or 2 miles close proximity ever before. Just incredible for a thunderstorm to be able to do this. Tornado number 5 there does look to be a couple of miles away from tornado number 1, so even though you may be a few miles away from that tornado you've been watching for a while, some additional folks appear to be in danger now north of Highway 412, northeast of Woodward, and north of Moreland by 4 to 5 miles. We do have 2 on the ground. That's tornado number 1 and tornado number 5. The apparent thunderstorm, checking Doppler 5 here, appears to continue a very slow weakening trend. There's the thunderstorm right there. It's not quite as strong as it was. It continues to weaken slowly, but it still is strong enough to keep producing tornadoes for perhaps at least 5 to 10 minutes longer. It looks like tornado number 5 there is beginning to weaken just a little bit. Chris, what do you think?
Well, Mike, it looks like the first tornado is finally starting to weaken. It's kind of gone in a rope stage. Let me pan back over there again. It's you know, where it's not a straight tube to the ground now. It's very crooked, very narrow. It looks like it's much weaker than it was, which would make sense for the second or fifth tornado, if you will, to the south of that taking over. It seems to be the one to the left of your screen, to the south, seems to be coming from a more organized area of rotation at this time, although it does not also appear to be as strong as it was just a few moments ago, Mike.
Okay, Chris, it looks like John Slater back there on Doppler 5 just came out and said it looks like the parent thunderstorm may be now drifting toward the south-southeast, and that would, of course, put Curtis and Moreland in the possible projected path of this tornadic activity in Woodward County. So it looks like it is drifting perhaps toward the south-southeast, under 5 miles per hour, so not very fast, but it's just taken a turn more toward the southeast here in the past 5 to 10 minutes. Back in 1985 on May 7th, there was baseball-sized hail near the Woodward area, also a tornado touchdown near Tangier, and also it completely tore off the roof of a house. But in the Tangier area back in 1985 on May 7th, there were no injuries reported. And of course, this is just a few miles from the most devastating tornado that ever occurred in Oklahoma. That was back in April of 1947 with the tremendous Woodward tornado of northwestern Oklahoma that night. Now, this is a prime spot for Oklahoma tornadoes in the northwestern parts of the state. It's not too unusual for those folks up there, but this has been certainly a very unusual type of system this afternoon with 5 tornadoes touching down since about 1 minute after 5. Chris, what do you see right now?
Well, Mike, we do seem to see the first tornado is really dissipating. Chris, you're the expert in this area. What do you think? The second one is dissipating as well, it appears to me.
I do not see the first one at all anymore. It looks like there's just dust kicked off from the ground. It's a little bit deceptive to say on the second one, the one we're looking at right now. If you see, you can see kind of a tube in the dust. The reason we don't see that as well as we did the first one is there's dust wrapping around between us and the tube, and we're not seeing the tornado as clearly as in clear air like the first one. But I believe it's still there. It's just a little bit harder to see.
I think you're right, Chris. It probably is still there. The dust is settled, though temporarily, but there may still be a vortex on the ground, which makes the tornado itself especially dangerous because it's not a classic tornado where you have it all the way down to the cloud to the ground. So it's especially dangerous from the standpoint that it might at times actually be invisible. The storm continues to drift very slowly toward the east-southeast, just north and northwest of the Moreland area. Chris, can you see anything on the ground right now, Chris and Jane?
No, I don't see anything on the ground. Again, we're deceptive. The first one, you can't see anything, just debris rising, but nothing into the clouds at this point. And the second one is lost in the sun debris, filtering clouds coming down. It's very difficult to get any definition on what is actually the fifth one. We do see still some circular activity in the clouds in the distance there, so this storm may not be finished yet, Mike, by any means.
I agree with you, Jane. It has weakened just a bit. The parent thunderstorm has weakened, but it's so warm and it's so humid outside that there could be another tornado form at any minute. So a tornado warning has been extended now for northern Woodward County. Tornado on the ground 6 miles northeast of Woodward, and it has been drifting toward the southeast at around 3 to 5 miles per hour, and that could put Curtis and Moreland in the projected path of these tornadoes as it continues to drift very slowly toward the southeast. Right now it looks like all tornadoes have lifted. There is still some dust from tornado number 1, but at this point in time all tornadoes appear to have lifted, but we've seen them almost invisible before, so they may be invisible again. So it's still a very dangerous storm as it tracks very slowly toward the southeast, eventually toward Curtis and Moreland in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Jane, Chris, what do you see?
Well, again, we don't see anything, Mike. You're seeing what we're seeing, and we don't see any additional funnel clouds dropping at this point. We are certainly keeping a sharp eye on it. There has been lightning, and there's rain in the distance here, but even the lightning and rain has dissipated some. So that's good news to see.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Chris, can you zoom out just a bit and show the whole thunderstorm? Take your telephoto off like you did just a minute ago. You can actually see the rotation going on in this thunderstorm, and that means that the thunderstorm itself is still potentially dangerous. So even though it doesn't appear to have any tornadoes on the ground right now, you folks around Moreland and Curtis and along Highway 412 from just east of Woodward all the way to Curtis, there's another one on the ground, sure enough.
Coming down.
Looks like tornado number 6 now.
One on the ground and another one to the right of that you can't see coming down, it appears. See what I'm talking about, Chris? Is that another funnel dipping? Possibly. It's difficult to tell now. It's certainly not on the ground, but it may be a funnel aloft at this point. But again, and that may be that number 5 tornado that we're just able to see again. It may not be a new 6th funnel. We can't say right now, Mike, but that was where the number 5 tornado was, and it may just have reappeared to our eye again. There's a lot of dust and debris that's now being shown in the sunlight. I hope you can see that lightning in the foreground. Give you some idea of the intensity of this storm. But what you're seeing now may be number 5 or 6 tornado. We don't know. Whatever the number, this is an incredible event that you're watching, Mike. This many tornadoes dropping right in front of us here. And that one is building up steam, picking up debris on the ground and widening right before you.
You know, it is ironic, Jane, that it was 45 years ago to the day that Woodward had what has been Oklahoma's most devastating tornado. There were 101 people killed in Oklahoma. There were quite a few folks killed in the Texas Panhandle around Higgins and Glazier, and up into Kansas around White Deer and St. Leo, Kansas. So 45 years ago to the day, in Woodward County, Oklahoma's most devastating tornado occurred. Of course, the one back in 1947 was much, much stronger and much more violent, but I can certainly say by looking at this video that these tornadoes being almost invisible are especially dangerous because you very simply can't see the tornado. Almost completely invisible, just the wind itself with dust in the vortex is all you can see. There's no cloud part actually in contact with the ground, which goes to show you that you don't have to have the funnel cloud all the way down to the ground to get a tornado. This is a very classic case of something like that going on. The storm continues to drift slowly toward the southeast. It may move toward Curtis and Moreland and the folks that live along Highway 412 east of the Woodward area. Jane, Chris, what do you see?
Well, Mike, I have with me Officer Christensen from the Moreland Police Department. What have you seen? You've been able to go over there and try to look for damage, injuries, that sort of thing.
We haven't been over there. Woodward County Sheriff's Office and Civil Defense is over in that area right now. They say no damage at this time that they can see of.
And no injuries?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're talking about a very unpopulated area, a farmhouse dotting the plains here, is all.
Yes, ma'am, but there is north of Woodward. We do have quite a few homes. And
sure, not to diminish that those homes are not in danger. I'm talking about we're not looking at a heavily populated area that's in the track here.
That's pretty much correct, yes, ma'am.
Can you give us, you're from the area, you see how far we are. Where do you think exactly that tornado is moving?
Ma'am, probably your meteorologist can tell us that.
What I'm saying is this an area where you believe there are some farmhouses in that area?
Yes, ma'am. There is some farmhouses in that area.
Someone said a large ranch house in the area? Do you know what that would be?
I don't know about that, ma'am.
And here's another one, Mike, coming down. Chris Lee's going to show you a picture here.
There it is, yes. We see it off to the left. That's probably tornado number 7 now, either 6 or 7. We'll call it tornado number 7. John Slater just checked radar, and we're looking at the radar screens here in the weather office. A little bit of an ominous sign going on here. The storm is back building or building southwestward toward the Woodward area, and you'll notice that you've seen the tornadoes now actually kind of moving back toward the southwest. It looks like the possible tornado activity is going to build back toward the Woodward area as the storm itself builds into Woodward. So it may possibly be building into a more heavily populated area. That's tornado number 7 now on the ground. I understand we have a live via phone report from the Woodward area with James Gorey. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, Mike, how you doing?
Doing fine.
That's good. I got that tornado is a few miles north of Woodward on film tonight for you.
All right, that sounds good. How big was it, James?
Oh, I really didn't know what it was. It just looked like it was coming down as a rope, and it had 2 little funnels on either side of it, and then it went down in the to the ground a couple times, and then on the 3rd time there was a large column of debris and dirt and everything going back up, and then there's the funnel itself from the cloud that was hanging down looked like it was getting larger, and then the column of dirt and whatever met the funnel or they met in the middle, and they just after probably about 10-15 minutes it went ahead and dissipated.
James, did it hit anything to your northeast?
Not that I know of. I hear I'm on 10th Street here in Woodward, and I couldn't. All right, they just sounded the alarms here in Woodward, Mike.
Okay, the sirens are now going off in Woodward. James, yes, we've been checking now radar. The storm's back building toward you and toward Woodward, and tornado number 1 began up north of Moreland. This is tornado number 7 here, which is now much further toward the southwest, toward the Woodward area, than tornado number 1 was. So it looks like the progression is for the tornadoes to redevelop, separate tornadoes to redevelop closer to Highway 412 and closer toward the Woodward area. I understand, James, you need to keep a very keen eye and be prepared to seek shelter. James, you live on the north side of Woodward. The folks in Woodward need to keep a very keen eye.
Okay, yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll try to keep taping for you as much as possible, but as soon as it starts really getting hairy, I'm going to head for high hills or underground or wherever.
That's a good idea. Certainly don't take your life into your own hands. We appreciate you shooting the video for us, James, and we'll be back in touch with you. Feel free to give us a call back. We have a 1-800 number for you. This won't cost you a dime. It's 1-800-521-5051. That's the First Alert hotline, 1-800-521-5051. It'll ring directly into the 5 Alive Weather Center. It's toll-free, so you can give us a call. We will put you live on the air. But, James, be sure, don't let it get too close to you. And we appreciate the phone call, and it looks like it is headed your way, so you may want to kind of keep a hand on that storm cellar or get someplace safe. All
righty, then. We'll darn sure do it. I thank you, Mike.
James, appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
You bet.
Let's go back now to Jane and Chris. That tornado was quite a bit closer to the Woodward area, Jane, right?
It is, but Mike, we must stress that all these tornadoes appear to have formed in about a 2 to 3 mile circumference here. They're all very close. We're seeing, the tornado view you're seeing is just across, just east of Woodward, and so they're seeing the same tornado that we are. We're closer to Moreland, and it looks like number 6 tornado, which I thought had dissipated, seems to be becoming more clearly defined again, so that one is still on the ground. We have 2 on the ground here working right now, Mike. It's an incredible thing to watch. People have stopped along the roadsides here, just amazed at this incredible phenomenon of nature in which 6 to 7 tornadoes have formed within about a 45-minute period, and we don't think we're finished yet.
Mike, I've not seen anything like this as far as the back building of the storms. The movement, and I know you stress this, but I don't think we can stress it enough. We always tell people the storms come from the southwest and move northeast. These are not moving, but they're reforming back to the southwest. So the net movement, the actual path of danger, if you will, is towards the southwest. And I don't believe I've ever seen anything like that.
I haven't either, Chris. It's absolutely spectacular, tremendous what this thunderstorm has done. A very dangerous thunderstorm when you think that 7 tornadoes have touched down within a 1 or 2 or maybe 3 mile square area north of Moreland. The sirens are going off in Woodward. We've had the sirens going off in Moreland. Now the storm, the parent thunderstorm itself, is now drifting toward the south-southeast. That'd be toward Highway 412, toward Moreland. and back building toward the Woodward area. It's building back toward Woodward, and the tornadoes themselves have been developing southwestward toward the Woodward area. Now, these are only about maybe 125 to 150 yards wide, so they're not huge tornadoes as far as an Oklahoma scale is concerned, but they're certainly very strong. The winds are within probably 125 to 140 miles per hour. Certainly a devastating tornado, so you need to think of your tornado safety precautions, interior closet, bathroom, preferably a storm cellar or basement as these tornadoes approach you. Now, the net movement of the tornadoes has only been perhaps toward the south or southeast at about 3 to 4 miles per hour. There's tornado number 8. Tornado number 8, this is absolutely incredible. Tornado number 8 is now dipping down out of the sky. And
Mike, I don't believe that's number 8. Mike, I believe that's the number 6 one that we're being able to see again. I don't believe it's a new funnel.
Okay.
It just appears to be strengthening. Would you say it was a new funnel or the same one?
I think it is number 6 that we just couldn't see for a little while, but I think it's in the same location as the number 6 one was. But I like you, Mike. I'm beginning to lose count.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So there are 2 on the ground right now at the same time, and that's quite a bit further southwest than the first tornado touched down, which would be a little bit closer to the Woodward area.
But yeah, I think it's deceptive from where we are. I believe those are probably 3 or 4 miles to further west than the original touchdown of the tornadoes. Maybe even 5 miles further west. It's not much further south, but it does seem to be moving more west.
Mike, you're looking at 2 tornadoes on the ground. Again, we are just looking at those tornadoes from just north of Moreland. Our camera is facing west, just several miles on the other side of the tornado is Woodward, to try to help people understand what they're seeing at this point. So on the other side of these tornadoes is the city of Woodward, and as you've been saying, they've been backtracking some towards that area, and people need to be alert there. The sirens are blowing there, and the sirens are blowing in Moreland, too. Don't know what direction these unpredictable storms are going to be taking at this point, but there are still 2 on the ground. At some point today, we have had as many as 7, maybe even 8 funnels of tornadoes actually on the ground. An incredible experience, and they've all gone down on the ground, within 3 to 4 miles of each other. And so this storm, which early in the afternoon did not appear to have much violence in it, has indeed had a great deal of violence. We want to recap. We've been talking with police out here, and they don't believe they have any damage, though there are several farmhouses in the area, and they don't believe they have any injuries. But no one is going directly into the area to really find out. They're trying to, of course, not become a victim of a tornado themselves, but Civil Defense says that they don't think they have any damage or injury right now, just to recap for people who may have just tuned in for us.
Okay, I understand the city of Woodward continues to take tornado precautions. The Woodward Hotel has closed, and they're sending the folks to a safer tornado-designated shelter area. So the town of Woodward, as these tornadoes backbuild toward the city of Woodward, is taking necessary precautions. That's a good thing, too, because they have been building back toward the Woodward area. No less than 7 tornadoes have been on the ground right now. Tornado number 6 and tornado number 7 are on the ground. We have another live via phone report from a Mr. Morton in Woodward County. Mr. Morton, go ahead. What do you see?
We're northwest of Woodward, about 5 miles. There's 2 tornadoes northwest of us. Looks like they're 2 to 3 miles south of Supply, 1 on the ground and 1 in the clouds. Earlier, we had one out of the backside of the storm you were looking at that moved west, and it was a pretty good-sized funnel. It looked like it broke up about 4 or 5 miles east of Supply.
Okay, so to repeat again, you have a confirmed tornado south of Fort Supply. That'd be northwest of Woodward right now on the ground?
Yes, 1 on the ground and 1 in the clouds.
Okay, that is extraordinary. You're not in danger, are you, Mr. Morton?
No, it's about 6-7 miles from us, I suppose, and it's northwest of us.
Okay, that would be between Tangier and Fort Supply. Keep your eye on it, Mr. Morton. They've been dancing about much of Woodward County, as you've seen here on 5 Alive much of the afternoon, so keep your eye on it, and, of course, don't put your life in danger. There's live Doppler 5 there. You can see the thunderstorm is building back toward Woodward and back toward Fort Supply. Mr. Morton, we appreciate your phone call. Remember, we have a 1-800 number set up, 1-800-521-5051. That's a toll-free number. You can call the 5 Alive Weather Center, and we will put you on the air live via phone with your severe weather and tornado report. It looks like the storm continues to move back toward the Woodward area. If we can go back to Jane Braden and Chris Lee right now, what's your latest thoughts, guys?
Well, the first tornado, I've lost track. The tornado to the right seems to be dissipating some. It's still very much there. We just are not seeing it as clearly. The funnel itself, the funnel is rising into the clouds, but it clearly is touching the ground. So we have a tornado on the ground there. To the left, again, that tornado has remained constant on the ground. These two, one is not in the clouds from our vantage point. Two are on the ground and kicking up a great deal of debris. And they've been on the ground. Are we nearly an hour, Mike, for these tornadoes to be on the ground?
Jane, it's an hour right now. It's straight up 6 o'clock.
It's an hour right now. An incredible experience watching 6 to 7, maybe even 8 funnels. The count has been lost as they go up in the clouds a little bit and back down. But that many funnel clouds have come down and become tornadoes and hit in this area. And these are all in about a 5-mile area, at least the best we can tell from our vantage point. We're not hearing of any injuries and damage. That's the first worry you have, of course, but we're not finished yet. There still is obviously activity in these clouds, cyclonic activity and circular cloud motion moving. Chris, do you have anything? Chris Lee, our photographer?
I'm just in awe. I mean, I've been following storms for 10 years. I've not seen anything like this. About the time I think one is gone, it hits something on the ground and is. You see the dust, and it's much stronger than you thought it was. There are two very strong tornadoes on the ground right now. They're not a mile wide or anything, but they're certainly nothing to fool around with. This is a very dangerous situation if you're in that area. Fortunately, they don't seem to be moving very much. They're building to the south, and occasionally when they reform, they form to the south. So if you're in this area, the area between Moreland and Woodward, they're building to the south from the area north of there, so people certainly need to take precautions.
Okay, Chris, Cherokee Ballard from the newsroom, join on in here. You have some reports from the Woodward area for us?
Yes, Mike, I've been on the phone for the past hour with Civil Defense, the newspaper, the Sheriff's Department there, the Woodward Hospital, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. We have just learned that the Woodward Hospital is now closing its doors and moving patients out of the rooms and into the corridors towards the front where it is safe, because they are hearing sirens. Obviously, they are taking every emergency precaution. The police department, obviously, were too busy to talk much, but they said they had every unit on their way out there. They do not know of any injuries at this point, but preliminary reports at this point, they may have more for us in the next hour or so. I did talk with the Civil Defense Director and said that they were watching 5 Alive, and that's how they found out about all of this. Everybody in the town I talked to said, well, we're watching you right now. The Highway Patrol Department in Guyman said the same thing. They had their units on the way out there. They did not have any reports of injuries. We have talked with everybody in that county, in Moreland, in Woodward, in all the surrounding towns, and we are still on the phones at this point trying to find out if, in fact, there are any injuries. We do not believe this is a heavily populated area. There are some ranches around there. There are a few homes at this point, but we do not know if people were alerted in time. We hope that they were able to see our pictures and be able to take cover. And we'll go back to you, Mike.
Cherokee, we appreciate the reports. Keep on the phone with those folks, and of course, make sure that they're taking the necessary precautions. We need to go to a map here on the live vista, folks. I've got to go to Woodward County just for a minute. We have to show you where these tornadoes have been developing. Primarily north of Moreland. We're going to zoom in there. North of Moreland and Curtis, north of Highway 412, just north of Boiling Springs. And it's been back building toward the Woodward area. The red T, that's where tornadoes have been touching down. Back building toward Woodward, there have been tornadoes south of Fort Supply. That's west of Woodward and north of Tangier. 2 tornadoes on the ground there. And now we understand tornado warning out for Ellis County. Tornado on the ground 10 miles north of Gage. Let's go back to the live video. Tornado on the ground 10 miles north of Gage in Ellis County. You saw first alert kick in and issue the tornado warning for Ellis County. So there is a line of tornadoes now from 10 miles north of Gage to 4 miles south of Fort Supply. That's just north of Tangier, to the immediate north Woodward area, to northwest of Moreland. There's a line of tornadoes intermittently, if not continuously, on the ground. Bill Mitchell is now live via phone. We have Bill Mitchell. Go ahead, Bill.
On the ground. Go ahead, Bill.
See another one on the ground to the left there.
Go ahead.
Okay, Bill is preparing right now. We'll have him here in just a minute. Folks, these are not extremely violent tornadoes by nature. We've seen these before. They do have winds about 125 to 140 miles per hour. They're certainly capable
Mike?
of destroying a home.
Mike?
Go ahead, Jane. Yes, I see another
We've got
tornado.
another funnel. We've got another tornado on the ground forming, and this one again is closer to the Woodward area, about 2 miles closer than the last tornado. Can you see it, Mike?
Yes, we can. We can see it right in the middle of the screen down on the ground.
The sun is behind it, and there's a great deal of debris and moisture in front of it, so it's a little difficult to see, but that is a tornado clearly on the ground and widening as the debris is kicking up, and that one is closer to Woodward. So this warning is very real that Woodward needs to be taking precautions, and as we heard from Cherokee Ballard, they are taking precautions, but anyone who doesn't think this storm is coming their way, think twice, because these tornadoes have progressively been appearing towards the Woodward area, and that one is, I couldn't say, but it's much closer to Woodward than the others that we've been seeing. And so this was a new tornado, probably the 8th, perhaps the 9th tornado to come down in this area. And again, it appears to be just a few miles north of Woodward instead of the 4 to 5 miles north the others have been.
The northernmost tornado, we had 2 of them just a moment ago. That one appears to have dissipated. Now we just have the 2, the one, as you said, building back to the south. Quite a ways south this time, not that close to the first one. Like you said, I believe that to be very close to the Woodward area.
Chris, can you estimate your azimuth in degrees where that southwesternmost tornado is? It looks like, I agree, it's very close to the northern or northeastern sides of Woodward.
I'm going to say that's right along Highway 50, about 10 miles west of my location, which is Moreland, which is going to put it very close to inside city limits of Woodward.
Okay, that's a tornado warning now for the city of Woodward. You folks around Woodward, you are in immediate danger. These are hard to see. They're not completely, the cloud part is not completely all the way down to the ground. They're almost invisible at times. You folks in Woodward need to seek shelter immediately. The winds, 130, 140 miles per hour. These are, on a scale of 0 through 5, these are probably a ranking of about a 2, a 1 to a 2. So certainly very strong and certainly very, very dangerous, especially given the fact they're invisible at times, but they are building back into the Woodward area. We have Bill Mitchell now live via phone. He's on Highway 60, 2 miles east of Arnett. He's in Ellis County, where tornadoes have been reported north of Gage. Bill, what do you see?
I am looking due north now. I've seen as many as 2 tornadoes on the ground. I still have visual sightings of one. I have a big wall cloud with a big collar extending from it, and one tornado coming down from the back of it. It looks like it's
okay.
north of me about 10 miles, and I've got one building to the west of that, trying to come down out of the cloud. It's trying to come down now. We are going to go a couple of more miles east and then go north to get you better sightings on it, and we'll be sending you fast pics in just a little while. I'm with Kyle Ham, Bill Mitchell, and Fast Unit 1.
Okay, Bill, please send us a first pic down your cellular telephone. It's revolutionary technology. Let's use it. First pic via cellular phone. Send us a picture of that tornado located north of Arnett and near the Gage area. Send us a picture. We'll pop it up live as it comes down. We are with Fast Unit 2 here. This is Chris Lee and Jane Braden. Fast Unit 1 is in Ellis County, sees 2 tornadoes on the ground in the immediate Gage area. That'd be southwest of Fort Supply. It's a line of tornadoes, folks, running from northwest of Moreland to the immediate Woodward area, southwestward to south of Fort Supply, north of Tangier, into Ellis County, very close to and about 10 miles north of the Gage area. There are intermittent, if not continuous, tornadoes on the ground all along that line, a very dangerous situation. You need to seek shelter immediately if these are in your area. Sometimes they're invisible and you can't see them. Very, very dangerous. That tornado is quite a bit stronger right there. Cherokee Ballard in the newsroom, what do you have for us? Go ahead, Cherokee. Okay, she's not quite ready yet. We'll get back to Cherokee in the newsroom in just a minute. No doubt she's been talking to the folks around the Woodward area. Cherokee, what can you tell us?
Well, Mike, we just got off the phone with Pioneer Telephone, which is the lines that run into the area in Woodward County, and they are saying that all their lines are so tied up there, but they do not have any reports of down phone lines, but they are asking everyone in the area, if you can hear us at this point, to please stay off the lines because they need all of those free lines to talk with officials in the area for certain emergency precautions. I talked with Moreland police. They said that no reports of damage. They said that specifically the tornado, they said, was 8 miles north of Woodward, and they said everyone that lives in that area is 10 to 15 miles west of where the tornado hit. That is all we have at this point.
Okay, that's good advice. Folks, we're going to stay with this live. Jack and Jerry back on the news desk. Jane Giroux, folks, have you ever seen something as extraordinary as what you're looking at right now?
I have never in my life seen anything like this.
Nothing at all. You know, and Mike, I grew up in West Texas, which is kind of part of Tornado Alley, and down there never saw anything like this. Saw a couple of tornadoes, and since I've been here in '74, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of spectacular video, but to see 8 tornadoes out of one basically storm, Mike, I'm curious, what's the most you've ever heard of out of one storm?
In one place, reading all the books about Oklahoma tornadoes, Texas tornadoes, Kansas tornadoes, never heard of 8 or 9 in such close proximity as what we've been showing you now live for, well, how long has it been here? An hour and 10 minutes, no less than 8 tornadoes. Never seen or heard anything like this ever before, and that goes back to around the turn of the century. Just incredible.
Mike, as you mentioned earlier, too, of course, Woodward had just a devastating tornado in 1947 and completely destroyed that community. So folks up there take this very seriously, and it must be really a frightening time for a lot of them.
I think the most dangerous part of this is the fact you can't see the tornado until it touches down at times. In fact, there's one right there in the middle of the screen, and you really can't even see the tornado. And Jane, as you know, these aren't nearly as big as the one that hit back in '47, but given that they're invisible at times, makes them truly very, very dangerous. I know a lot of folks up there, you being from Laverne, a lot of folks have storm cellars, basements, or at least they know where to go when they're threatened by tornadoes. And there's proof right there.
It'd be important that people not go out and look at this point. I mean, I know people are real curious about seeing tornadoes in that area, but it would be important for them not to take this chance to go out and look if you live in Moreland or Woodward, I would think.
I would think so also, especially Woodward. It appears to be developing right over the city of Woodward, and they can touch down before they even can appear visible to the naked eye, which makes it extremely dangerous. So if you're a ways off, it'd be okay to watch it, but if you're near the area, it's not safe to your well-being to watch these tornadoes as they move and dance about, because they've been doing U-turns. We've seen them do circles and U-turns live on the air during the past hour and 15 minutes.
Isn't it also amazing that people all over the nation were able to watch this on their own TVs along with us? What an experience.
I understand folks from Florida and Louisiana and even around the nation's capital have been tuning in to see nature's most violent force, an Oklahoma tornado. So it's extraordinary. I'm sure they're just as awestruck as all of us are. Of course, the immediate danger right now is to the folks in the Woodward area, northwest of Moreland, all the way back down to north of Tangier. John Slater. Okay, a new tornado on the ground east of Shattuck, Oklahoma. That's in Ellis County. That'd be on the back of that thunderstorm line, further south and west of the activity near the Woodward area. So we could have had as many as 12 or 14 tornadoes on the ground this afternoon so far, and there's still at least 2 on the ground right now, north and northeast of Woodward, and there's one east of Shattuck on the ground, and there's one south of Fort Supply, and 10 miles north of Gage. There's another one on the ground right now. We hope to get a first pick from Fast Unit 1, Kyle Ham and Bill Mitchell. They should be sending a first pick down their cellular telephone here in just a minute. This is truly extraordinary. Jane and Chris, what do you see right now?
Mike, it appears the tornado over towards the Woodward area, we can't see it anymore. I don't know that means it's gone. That is a long way for us to see. As you can see, the one that we're seeing, that's a tornado that has been there for some time. That tornado has probably been continuous in that area for around 20 minutes. It has drifted to the north a little bit, toward you see it kind of bowing out towards the right of the screen, towards the bottom. That's a movement to the north. It's probably not moved very much at all, but considering it's been on the ground about 20 minutes, it has moved some compared to some of these which are on the ground maybe 5 or 10 and seem to not move at all.
You know what's striking to me about the danger here, you normally think of a tornado as roaring down a path and causing damage that way, a single tornado moving in one direction. These are not moving, but they keep reforming in what is probably a 5-mile circumference path, a danger zone underneath that's probably 5 miles. So in a sense, these, as you've been saying, Mike, are invisible before they form, and so they're dangerous in that way, but they're also dangerous because they keep forming unexpectedly over places that may not be taking this very seriously.
And I've also noticed, Jane, that the first indication we've had on every single... Yes, Mike?
Chris, let me interrupt you here for just a minute. Truly extraordinary. Punch up PVT1, first picks, number 1. Here comes a tornado over Fast Unit 1 cellular telephone. That is a tornado coming down scan line by scan line. That is looking northeast from Arnett. He is transmitting that picture of that tornado over a cellular telephone through clear air. First picks here at 5 Alive. It's never been done before anywhere in the world. We developed it here in the 5 Alive Weather Center. Jerry Hart, our production manager, and the 5 Alive Weather Center developed this technology so we can show you using an ordinary cellular telephone. That picture is coming down. That's not more than 15 to 20 seconds old, coming down a cell phone from Fast Unit Number 1. Bill Mitchell is live via phone. Kyle Ham, live via phone in Fast Unit 1. Let's go to them now. That's looking northeast from Arnett. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, Mike, this is Fast Unit 1, Kyle and Bill. We are heading north down Fargo Road towards the town of Fargo. Directly ahead of us, we have a tornado on the ground. Bill's taking some pictures of that tornado right now. We will keep you advised on this. It's getting larger and larger, and we will call you back and let you know what we find out.
Okay, check for damage in that area. That is in Ellis County. As he mentioned, it's near the Fargo area, so there are tornado warnings now for Ellis County and Woodward County. Let's go back now live to the video from our satellite truck. Chris Lee and Jane Braden, Fast Unit 2 now. They still have a tornado on the ground. What's transpired since we left you last, Jane?
We have the police with us again. Officer Mark Christensen here. You have found some damage with this storm.
Yes, north Woodward, we have some trees, power lines down, no buildings. Woodward Sheriff's Office says just that we have trees and power lines down. It's hitting in an unpopulated area, thank goodness.
Yes, that is the good news. I mean, so many tornadoes. That you've lived in this area probably all your life?
Yes, ma'am.
You ever seen anything like this?
Last year was about the only time we had 6 south of Moreland, but this one...
Were you able to stand and watch them form as you have been today?
Yes, ma'am. We were south of Moreland when they all formed.
Okay, this is a volatile area for tornadoes. I heard you a moment ago say 1947, the Woodward tornado. Are a lot of people thinking about that today?
I think they have been, but with the good weather service we have around, we've got good people.
That's true. The sirens did sound about 5 minutes after we first saw the tornado, and that is a good response time. It is also a bit frightening to know that a tornado was on the ground, because it takes a while for spotters to say, we found a tornado, to call it in, for the National Weather Service to confirm it, to then call in the alert, for the alert to sound. So there's probably a 4 to 5 minute delay between the time a tornado hits, and we were experiencing that delay as we saw the tornado come out of the clouds, and about 5 minutes later heard the tornado sirens begin in Moreland. And the reason I bring it up is because we often feel like when the sirens blow, we have time to react. We don't have time to react. Your time to react is gone. Your time to just get to safety is very limited, and in Oklahoma, this is a lesson we must learn because we're certainly in the danger zone. And as we watch right now, you can see that. Chris, it looks to me like both the funnels that we've been watching, the tornadoes have really dissipated.
I'm not exactly sure that they have dissipated. I believe I think there may be rain between us and the funnels. There may still be one on the ground. I can't tell for sure because there's rain between me where we're standing in the tornado. I can't really see. I just can't see right now. We're hoping that rain will move out of the way. It's raining a little bit right here.
Chris, we've had reports of baseball-sized hail around the Woodward area, extending back down to north of Tangier and south of Fort Supply. So it's now producing baseball-sized hail also. Fast Unit Number 1 just sent us another first pick there of the tornado on the ground in the Fargo area. That'd be northeast of Arnett and northeast of Gage. Also, we have Cindy Wall now back in the newsroom. Cindy's been talking to the folks in Ellis and Woodward County. Jump on in here, Cindy. What can you tell us?
Well, I just got off the phone with the Woodward Ambulance Service. They have received an emergency call at a trailer. There's no information on that right now. That has been the only emergency call that they have received, but they are confused trying to sort out the information. The Woodward Hospital is moving patients into the corridor. Oh, they are also closing doors. And in Moreland, of course, units are checking for damage. Now, it is very important that if you do not have to call, the areas of Freedom, Woodward, and Moreland, do not call. Circuits are busy. They need to only be used. The lines only need to be used for emergency use. Now, right now, there are no power problems yet in the Freedom, Woodward, or Moreland area. Once again, just off the phone with the Woodward Ambulance Service, they have received an emergency call at a trailer, which often is a problem area in a tornadic situation. That's the latest we have right now. Mike?
Okay, Cindy, thank you very much. Let's go live via phone to First Alert Storm Team Unit Number 1. That's Bill Mitchell. He's in the Fargo area. Let's pop up PVT First Picks #1 there. Give us a live report from Ellis County, Bill.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks like much of it's dissipated, but I can still see debris on the ground about 2 miles ahead of me. I am now into the Fargo area. I don't see that fine definition that we sent you that first pick on last time. So you can hear on the scanner in the background that the Sheriff's Department here is reporting that the large tornado is dissipating at this time. But like I said, I still see some debris about 3 or 4 miles ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead to that area. We heard that it didn't hit any homes. It just tore up some trees. We'll go check that out, and we'll watch for other storms and other tornadoes coming from this same area. I'm Bill Mitchell reporting live with Kyle Hammond, Patch Unit 1.
Thank you, Bill. Be sure to send us any updated pictures over your cellular telephone using First Picks as you see additional tornadoes develop. The Fargo Police Department, Bill, confirms the tornado 2 miles west of Fargo, the same one you're looking at right there. That's not a live picture, but an image sent down via First Picks about 10 to 15 minutes ago from the Fargo area. Also reports of 3 tornadoes between Fargo and Harmon in Ellis County also. That's on the southwestern side of this whole activity. Let's go now live back to Chris Lee and Jane Braden to take a look at the northeastern side of this thunderstorm that has been producing no less than 8 tornadoes in the past 1 hour and 21 minutes. Jane and Chris, it looks like at least zoomed all the way out. We can't see any tornadoes right now. What can you tell us?
Well, we couldn't see them. We were concerned that perhaps moisture, rainfall between us and the tornado was the reason we couldn't see it. But we're hearing from ham operators and the civil defense coordinator in this area that it has dissipated. They can see the other side of the storm that we can't see from here, and they say it has indeed dissipated. And we're very heartened by that, and that is the latest news so far. But we have had moments out here where we've not seen tornadoes on the ground, and then moments later they appear again. And so that may not be the end of this storm by any means. You know more about the parent storm and what's happening. The warning now to Woodward County and to Woodward and the Moreland area is that the storms coming from Gage are headed this way, and they, too, are pretty violent. That's what the civil defense coordinators in this area are saying to us at this point.
Okay, Jane, I've been out here in the studio. John Slater's been checking Doppler 5 and has been checking the thunderstorm activity on radar. John, what can you tell us looking at live Doppler 5 right now?
Well, Mike, the storms are still pretty severe. We've actually got 3 separate storms on radar now across sections of northeastern Ellis County and into Woodward County. These storms are very strong. Tops are above 50,000, and they continue to at least have the potential to produce these pretty small tornadoes, at least for the next couple of hours.
Okay, you're looking at the yellow and orange there. There's been reports of baseball-size hail near Woodward and south of Fort Supply from these thunderstorms.
That's right. I've had many reports, a lot of callers calling in saying about baseball-size hail in and around Woodward. And the storms are slowly drifting towards the south and southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So there's some potential for southern areas, about another 10 miles for some thunderstorm activity.
Okay, I understand you've been talking to the Weather Service, getting updates from the radar operator with NexRad. Right. What have the folks down in Norman been telling you?
Well, it's a very strong storm at this point. In fact, we were actually one of the first people to actually tell them it was a tornado on the ground using that live video at 5 o'clock was outstanding. I called the Weather Service and said, hey, this severe thunderstorm warning needs to be upgraded to a tornado warning because we had the video there on the ground. It was pretty outstanding stuff.
All right, it's been on the ground now for 1 hour and 23 minutes. Now, this is looking live from north and northeast of Woodward, where there have been 8 tornadoes. And as Jane and Chris just mentioned, we can't see any right now, but that's been the history over the past hour or so, that they are invisible at times. So even though you can't see a tornado, there may still be one on the ground. And we've had additional reports from Fast Unit 1 of funnel cloud activity in parts of Ellis County near Fargo and northeast of Gage. Let's go down to Cherokee Ballard back in the newsroom. Cherokee, jump on in here.
Yes, Mike, thank you. We just got off the phone with people in Fargo, the Farmers Co-op there. Apparently they're sitting around watching the television and listening to the radio. They have moved everyone inside. People are not moving, but they're monitoring the situation. They do have power in Fargo. We've also just got off the phone with some people at Woodward at the public school department. They say some Woodward residents are seeking shelter at the elementary school at this point. If you feel like you are in danger, you live in Woodward, they urge you to go to the elementary school there. They have a very good storm shelter there. They're saying not to try to take shelter yourself if you don't feel safe. Go to the elementary school if you could make it. They're reporting no problems moving residents there, but they are seeking shelter at this point. Mike?
Okay, that's good advice, Cherokee. Let's go back up to Woodward and talk to Pam Cooper. She's with the Woodward Police Department. She's called our 1-800 toll-free number. Pam, what can you tell us from Woodward right now?
We've still got tornadoes spotted north and northwest of Woodward. We've had report of damage to a trailer house north and report of damage to some outbuildings, and I'm not sure on the exact location. We are receiving heavy rain and golf ball size hail north of Woodward at this time.
Pam, have the folks pretty much taken storm cellar precautions, storm precautions up there in Woodward?
So I know we've got a bunch in our cellar here out behind the police department.
Okay, are you getting any hail right now?
Not right in Woodward, but north of Woodward, we've had a report of golf ball size hail.
Okay, very good. Pam, by all means, don't take your life in danger there. Seek shelter if it gets any worse. As you know, they've been invisible at times from seeing it yourself and also talking to the folks in Woodward. Right now, we don't see any on the ground at this particular moment from our live picture, but they have been on the ground. Pam, we appreciate you calling us, and be sure to call us back if you have any additional information.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Chris, Jane, let's jump on in here. Anything new from your live vantage point from north of Moreland there, looking back toward Woodward?
No, Mike, it's been several moments since we've seen anything, and ham operators who are in contact with the civil defense in the area say they believe all of them have gone back up into the clouds right now, and that's good news. So it's been about 5 minutes since any tornadoes have been on the ground, and that's been the longest period so far since this ordeal began nearly 2 hours ago.
Get ready for this.
Again, we do not have any damage in Moreland. The sirens are no longer blaring in Moreland. The danger seems to be to our south and our east, more in Woodward. And they're still being very cautious because this tornado activity has been fooling us all along, because as soon as we think one tornado is dissipating, another appears, and then another and another and another. And the danger in this storm is not from one tornado making a violent track in a direction at all. It's from several tornadoes coming out, and they're primarily remaining stationary, except they keep coming out of the cloud in different directions and in different spots, and that's been the danger here.
Okay, let's go over to the live vista for the folks in the control room. We're going to take a very close-in look at Woodward County, and we can show you where these tornadoes have been tracking on the live vista here. Here's Moreland, Oklahoma. You can see Moreland there, Boiling Springs. Go ahead and point to it, Will. Boiling Springs and Woodward, and the tornadoes have been from north of Moreland. Go ahead and paint them down there, Will. North of Moreland to north of Boiling Springs in the immediate north Woodward area, back down to Tangier. That'd be near the airport. There's the airport on the west side of Woodward right there. And south of Fort Supply, those have been where the tornadoes have been touching down. And also, we'll zoom back out. Let's go over to Ellis County. They've been occurring in Ellis County also to the west of the Woodward area. There's the live picture from fast unit number 2. There are no tornadoes on the ground right now. There's Ellis County, and they've been extending from Fargo. Zoom in a little bit there, Will. They've been extending from Fargo back down Highway 15 toward the Gage area. We've had a report of a tornado very close to Shattuck and also southeast of Catesby. That'd be a little ways north of Gage. That's northern Ellis County. That's the area that's had the tornado activity during the past hour and 25 minutes. Let's go back to the live video from fast unit number 2. The storm is drifting very, very slowly toward the south. In fact, it's almost been holding stationary. There are 3 storms right now that are severe. One is located in the immediate Woodward area. The second one is located near Fort Supply. And the third severe storm is located in northern Ellis County, north of Gage. And all 3 thunderstorm cells have produced tornadoes. In fact, as many as 12 to 14 on the ground. Let's go now live to Ellis County, fast unit number 1, who sent us the first pic a while ago. Bill Mitchell, live via phone. Bill, what do you see from Ellis County?
We are in fast unit 1. We have just left the town of Fargo. We are heading toward Tangier now. I see feeder bands on both sides of me. I'm heading more north than east right now. I see a feeder band off to my right, down to my southeast, and a smaller one up to my northeast. Again, heading toward that same area where Chris and Jane are in fast unit 2. So far, no damage near the Fargo area. We heard the sheriff report there were some tree limbs down, but that's all. Damage from that one we sent you the patch pics on earlier.
Okay, Bill, we haven't received a first pic from you via your cellular telephone in a while. I take it you haven't seen any additional tornado touchdowns in the past 10 to 15 minutes?
It was within the last 10 to 15 minutes. Again, you've got to remember, Mike, we were about 8 miles away from it. We saw 2 form.
We've got another one on the ground. We've got another one on the ground.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go back here to Jane. Bill, thank you for your report, Bill. He's reporting from Fargo in Ellis County, moving toward Tangier. No tornadoes on the ground in the Tangier-Fargo area, but Jane Braden reports a new tornado on the ground. This would be in the immediate Woodward area again, probably near the north or northeastern sides of Woodward. A new tornado on the ground. Chris and Jane, what can you tell us? Jump on in.
We're trying to look through the rain and see if we see another tornado on the ground. Chris Lee believes he sees one. It's not very well defined for the television audience because there's rain between us and that location, but we believe there's another one down. This one would be about 2 miles north of the locations that we've been talking about before, probably 5 to 6 miles north of Woodward, and so this one is getting farther from Woodward, if indeed that's what it is, and we can't tell for sure, and the rain has intensified between us and what could be that latest tornado. I know that some of the civil defense ham operators a moment ago were saying they saw rotation from the other side of this storm, and that was concerning them, and we may have had yet another funnel drop out of that. Directly in our area, we have a great deal of lightning popping overhead, but no rainfall in our area. There is a rainfall around. The primary concern is that there could be another tornado hidden behind this blanket of rain that you see on your screen.
Okay, Jane and Chris, Chris, estimate your azimuth in degrees, exactly where you think this tornado's forming. From you.
He wants you to estimate the azimuth from the storm, Chris.
I'm sorry, I had my headsets off. I couldn't hear you there for a minute, Mike. What I'm looking is almost straight west from here. We're looking into some rain, and it may just be a rain shaft that I'm seeing, but it's under the area of rotation that the spotters have been looking at between north of Highway. It's basically north of Woodward.
Okay, if you're looking due west from the north sides of Woodward, it'd probably be on the north or northeastern sides of Woodward, is where this possible tornado would be developing?
Yes, we are still north of Moreland, looking straight to our west. So we'd be looking just north of Woodward. I cannot confirm anything on the ground. There's a lot of rain in that direction between us and where the storm is.
We have an officer with us from Moreland who's in contact with the ham operators. What are they saying? They're seeing the other side of this cloud.
We just had a report of one 5 to 6 miles straight north of Woodward. What we're seeing now is going to be behind the rain, so we're not going to see it very well, but apparently they're on the back side of this storm, and they just called it into the sheriff's office and reported it.
Mike, we're counting this number 9 or 10 funnel cloud. 9 or 10, and this one is back in the area where the first funnels dropped and became tornadoes. So just to give you some idea, we are looking at this storm just opposite of the way Woodward is looking at this storm, to give you some idea of what Woodward is seeing from us. Now, we're on the Moreland side of the storm, and Woodward is on the other side, and the ham operators in the area are confirming a tornado again, a 9th tornado from this same storm.
Okay, Jane, that's extraordinary. 9 or 10 from this particular thunderstorm. The one that's in the Fort Supply Tangier area has produced no less than 3 tornadoes, and the third storm further west in northern Ellis County, north of Gage and southeast of Catesby, has produced at least 3 tornadoes as well. So up to 16 tornadoes since the first tornado touched down just northwest of Moreland at 5:01, and we still have possible tornadoes on the ground. And of course, it almost goes without saying, the folks around Bethany, we've had to cancel the tornado alley that was scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight. The primary reason is because of all the tremendous tornado activity that's been occurring in northwestern Oklahoma right now. So Jack Bowen is right here on the set with me. We're going to reschedule over at Jack's Church in Bethany. It was scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight, and of course we'll probably show you a recap of some of this video we've been showing you tonight. So we're going to get with Jack and reschedule in Bethany perhaps sometime next week. Any new reports from Jane Braden, Chris Lee?
Nothing new. We're still trying to confirm that indeed the tornado was there, and we do believe we have confirmation from ham operators on the other side of the storm who are seeing it. And what you're seeing is a blanket of rain that is between us and the latest tornado, which we count probably number 9 or 10 that have come out of these clouds. Again, all of them have remained in the same general area, I would say about a 5-mile circumference here. And there seem to be farmhouses in the area and some outhouses and barns and that sort of thing. But other than that, there has been no danger to the population, except in the Woodward area. I mean, no damage to the population. We understand a trader